Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakal double orders to the elders and apostles, great millstone, who teach us truth and sincerity, and a shout out to Yakim that's out there on four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakal Bracha Tam. So, here we are, already, just a few days, from the so-called,
Finally, the U.S. President says the partial government shutdown is going to last until his demands for border wall funding are met.
I can't tell you when the government's going to be open. I can tell you it's not going to be open until we have a wall, a fence, whatever they'd like to call it. I'll call it whatever they want. But it's all the same thing. It's a barrier from people pouring into our country from drugs.
Trump expressed hope that the wall be completed by the next presidential election in 2020. The remarks come as the shutdown over budget spending is in its fourth day. Closures began at 500 GMT on Saturday after Democrats resisted President Donald Trump's demand for a $5 billion border wall funding.
So there you go. That's still a go. And while that's going on, here's some opposition to the U.S. presence in Iraq, because that's where the terrorists, the United States coalition, moved to. Or did they?
A surprise visit to Iraq, saying the move is in violation of the country's sovereignty. They also called for an emergency session regarding the matter.
To discuss this blatant violation of Iraq's sovereignty and to stop these aggressive actions by Trump, who should know his limits, the U.S. occupation of Iraq is over.
Trump's visit is a flagrant and clear violation of diplomatic norms and shows his disdain and hostility in his dealings with the Iraqi government.
Other parliamentary blocs also object to the U.S. President's visit to Iraq. Leaders of popular mobilization units expressed outrage and disapproval as well. A former PMU leader, Fali Khazali, accused the United States of attempts to increase its presence in Iraq.
Was defeated in Iraq and wants to return again under any pretext. This is what we will never allow.
Iraqis will respond with a parliamentary decision to oust your military forces, and if they do not leave, we have the experience and the ability to remove them by other means that your forces are familiar with.
Meanwhile, the scheduled meeting between the U.S. President and the Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi was cancelled due to what officials said was a disagreement over the venue. Speaking to U.S. troops at an airbase, Trump defended his decision to withdraw American forces from Syria, but also emphasized that he has no plans to do the same in Iraq.
The American leadership was...
Our correspondent Ali Musavi has updated us of the U.S. President's recent visit to Iraq and the anger that the visit has caused among Iraqi lawmakers.
Yeah, they're fucking sick of America.
Ibn's alliance, which is the largest bloc in the
it's good to see,
has made it very clear that they opposed this trip as a flagrant breach of Iraqi sovereignty. They called on the government to summon the U.S. ambassador to Iraq to question him as to why they basically bypassed all diplomatic norms between countries that he wants to. U.S. President Donald Trump, went straight to the airbase, which is in the Anbar province, east of the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, without...
Seems close to Syria, doesn't it?
Informing the government beforehand or anything of the sort. The only information that was given was a statement later on the day after the visit of President Trump to the airbase late last night by Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi.
So they're sick of the U.S. presence there. But wait, the coalition forces have just attacked another place in Syria. While everybody thought that they were coming home, right? No, the U.S. coalition has attacked Syria since its so-called withdrawal from Syria, and then Trump being in the Anbar province of Iraq. I think that they're going to use Iraq as an area to launch from. What do you think? Oh, wait, let's get more on that. So, of course, I got information from Last American Vagabond. And check this out.
You know, but whatever. Let's not talk about that, because it contradicts what the media is trying to tell you. Just close your eyes, zone out, and just listen to what Fox News and CNN want you to believe. That's what they want from you. Now, on another related note, which just contradicts the reality they're trying to make you believe, even the U.S. coalition is still attacking Syria. This is coming from AMN, entitled "Breaking: U.S. Coalition Bombs Bridge Being Reconstructed by Syrian Army in Deir Ezzor." How interesting is that? Even if it is coming to an end, the ridiculous point, it's the same way that they pretended there was a ceasefire coming and Saudis were attacking people right up until the last moment and then continued to still attack anyway. But they said, no, this is ending on Tuesday, don't worry. They're just slipping in every possible attack they can get up until the last second. That seems to bode well. And clearly they continued, so it's kind of the same thing here, I would imagine. I first actually saw this from Saif Din Bitar tweeting this out. So, you know, credit where credit is due. I appreciate him always sharing some important information. It's indeed still happening. Still attacking. Now, the U.S. coalition carried out a new airstrike in the Euphrates River Valley region of Deir Ezzor over Christmas. I think Christmas Eve, late Christmas Eve night into Christmas, targeting an area near the front lines of the Syrian Arab Army, the SAA, and Syrian Democratic Forces, the SDF, the Kurdish-led SDF. Well, this is interesting. According to a military source in Damascus, the U.S. coalition bombed a bridge that links the territories controlled by the Syrian Democratic Forces and the Syrian Arab Army in western Deir Ezzor. Now, the source said that the Syrian Arab Army was recently reconstructing this bridge and was nearly finished until it was bombed by the U.S. coalition. Now, obviously just showing you that they're bombing any actual reconstruction efforts that take place, stopping them trying to actually rebuild the country. But there's more to it than that. The U.S. coalition, of course, has not issued any statement about this bombing. They rarely do. Now, al-Masdar's source in Damascus said that the Syrian Arab Army believes the reason for the bombing was to prevent them from being able to cross the Euphrates River and enter into the SDF's territory. Now, you could take that as them protecting the SDF from being attacked by Syrian forces, which has happened before. Or there could be more of this going on here. We've seen the Kurds, the SDF in general, basically be abandoned by the U.S., and they've spoken out about it, saying, oh my God, this is horrible, they're leaving us behind, and Turkey's going to come in and annihilate us. We've seen the SDF turn to Damascus, turn to Assad and say, let's make a deal. So maybe we're seeing a deal, these people that have been left to die are turning to Syria and saying, look, we'll help you. Maybe this is them stopping them from having any kind of connection. Just hypothetically, I'm just guessing based on the information we have. But nonetheless, the real point of all of this is that the U.S. coalition is still bombing Syria. That's what's most important. The nuance.
So there you go. They ain't withdrawing, man. And you already know by Amalek and their little failed air attack on Damascus, which had failed miserably. I'll show some of that. Hold on a second. So while everybody was celebrating bullshit Christmas, here's what was also going. This one is from the Syrian Girl, which it's kind of funny. Israeli state, the Grinch that ruined Christmas by bombing Syria. You know, this is what's funny. Everybody's celebrating that bullshit, but here's what's going on in the real world. Like we said before, as Apostle Ramla has pointed out, bread and circuses. And these pagan customs, man, it's all part of the bread and circuses to keep everyone docile to what's really going on.
Now I gotta go. Merry Christmas.
So glad that bullshit festivity is over.
Bashar, foot.
Attack had no chance whatsoever. I mean, these S-400 systems are fucking bad, man. Yep, it's fun to see America with its tail behind its leg. Scared of the S-400s. Because some other brothers put together, I believe it's GMS Las Vegas put it together, about the real reason Trump withdrew is because of the S-400 systems. Speaking of the S-400s, let's not forget Vladimir Putin is warning the United States that war could break out due to fatal misunderstanding.
War with the U.S. could break out due to fatal misunderstanding. Moscow's top diplomat has argued that Russia was doing its best to avoid a conflict with the United States, but that both countries appeared to be on a dangerous collision course due to a lack of communication. Asked Monday about the possibility of all-out war breaking out between the U.S.-led NATO Western Military Alliance and Russia, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told the state-run Sputnik News that everyone in the world understands this, well, an armed conflict involving the two leading nuclear powers, Russia and the United States, will have disastrous consequences for humanity. Echoing previous warnings about the prospects of an exchange of weapons of mass destruction, he said that there is no doubt that there can be no winners in a nuclear war and it should never be unleashed. Lavrov said that Washington and its allies were obsessed with their own geopolitical ambitions and not ready to adapt to global realities that are not changing in their favor. As a result, he said that dialogue.
But what's going to cause them to do it, though they're reluctant now,
such as the
I believe more than anything else, is when they finally do destroy Syria.
In danger of being scrapped, creating an even more dangerous equation. Such a conflict, based on instruments of power, inevitably leads to a further imbalance of the global security architecture and contributes to an arms race, Lavrov told Sputnik. A situation may well arise when the price of an error or a misunderstanding becomes fatal. Ties between the West and Russia have deteriorated since Moscow annexed the Crimean Peninsula in a 2014 referendum that has received limited international recognition amid ongoing political unrest in Ukraine. Allegations that the Russian military has aided separatists battling Ukrainian forces in the east further compelled NATO to bolster its borders with more international troops and defenses, leading Moscow to shore up its own positions. The precarious situation in Europe was exacerbated by allegations that the Kremlin attempted to influence the 2016 U.S. presidential election in
And we know that that's all a hoax. And this is from Dabu7. Here's what's coming to all you goddamn Edomites. Fuck you all.
Russia was just talking about using an island that is controlled by Venezuela in the Caribbean to be able to land these White Swan bombers and to be able to refuel them in case they need to conduct missions in the Americas. They say that they will have to then return to base, but this will allow them to land somewhere and refuel in this area instead of having to do this in the air. So strategically, that helps Russia big time, and now they're announcing these hypersonic missiles that we've been talking about for some time as well, where Russia and China have been working together, and now they've both announced and rolled out these hypersonic and glider missiles that can maneuver and evade normal missiles. They're saying that they've conducted all these tests and that the last set were a complete success, and they're rolling these out beginning in 2019. They're saying that it's a huge moment. They're saying that 2019, Russia's armed forces will get these new intercontinental strategic system avant-garde. They're saying it's a big moment in the life of the armed forces and in the life of the country. They're saying Russia has obtained a new type of strategic weapon. Russia also says the new missile system, which is one of several new weapons that Putin announced, is highly maneuverable, and I guess they have videos that you can check out as well that show them testing this. But
make no mistake, in 1 hour Babylon will be destroyed. For that I want to say Barakah Yahweh, Barakah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash, Brakatam. Hope this has been edifying.